goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. There goes a sight from my soul. I think a fall angel just walked by. I think a fall angel just walked by.
What's going on, guys? It's Tuesday, and still not back on the road yet. If you guys can remember, I got married this weekend, and I got a message that said, "Did your wife kill you at the altar?" No, I'm here, but I am having issues with my trailer still, and that's what I'm going to go over with you guys today to try to help you if you have the same situation. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get some clips up, show you guys what I'm talking about, so we can go from there. Alright, so if you guys can remember, there's the trailer. I'm pretty sure I'm in the parking lot when I took this, where I was fixing the trailer. Now we did, and I lied to you guys because I thought the trailer was fixed. When we put the spring was broken. If you can see, you couldn't see it, but the bottom spring and the centering pin were actually broken. They go around the axle. So what we did when we brought it home, we put a new spring pack on it, new U-bolts because they were bent as a previous video, and a new wheel and tire. When we put it back together, the area right here, see where the tire was rubbing before I had taken the tire off? Now I had thought that was just because of it being, the tire was flat. I had to get off the roadway to where I could fix it safely. Where I was parked, I couldn't have got down because the road was right there. I would have, if it was on the other side, I would have stayed where I was at, but I wanted to get out of the way because someone already hit the trailer there. I didn't want to be in between that when the next person came by and hit it. So it actually pushed the axle back and bent it. So what happens from there, we get the trailer fixed for as far as the fender goes. So let me put these up maybe side by side for you guys. Let me shrink this down some. Move this one over here. So if you guys can see, I took my trailer to a welding shop that does a lot of work for me. Actually a lot of work for my father as well. They do great work. As you can see, you cannot even tell, besides the paint, because it was raining. Besides the paint, you can't even tell that was, there was any damage there. So thankfully we got that fixed up. And while it was there, I also had them put in a receiver hitch right here, receiver tube for a winch. Now what they did there, if any of you guys have a coffin trailer, you know what I'm talking about, but if not, they cut the brace that was out of here and made their own. You'll be able to see it a little better in this picture here. They cut out and put their own brace there to support the weight of A, the jack, and B, the pulling force of whatever vehicle's being winched up onto the trailer. So we got that done, and now it's time to address the bent axle, and that's where it gets interesting, guys. So I go on, I'm trying to think, I think it might have been, I ran the trailer enough where it started to wear the inside of the tire. It didn't really show it's being bent until you put a lot of weight on it. So once I got that Tundra on there, that's when you could tell it was really, the front of the wheel was towed out, causing the inside tire to, I call it scrubbing the tire, to drag across the ground, not rolling straight down the road. So, sorry, my dog wants to romp us around this morning. But anyways, so I have a bent axle. So when it comes down to it, I need to replace the axle. And now it's, how easy do I want it to be? Do I want to get a complete axle? Do I want to get a bare axle? So I started sourcing where I could get an axle from, and that's where it really gets interesting, guys. I'm going to get some pictures up here, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, and this is really the point of this video, guys. I needed to give you a little information if you you haven't been subscribed or didn't watch the previous videos. So I called to order an axle from two local companies I called. And they're going to ask you these measurements, guys. Hub face, and they asked me spring center. The reason being, it needs to line up with your hangers that are already on the trailer. Overall length, obviously, they're going to ask you that just to make sure the axle's not super long. It's going to be hanging out outside the fenders. But hub face and spring center are the most important measurements they're going to ask for. So my trailer, and I don't know if I have it up here. So a Kaufman trailer has for ours, our overall length, I think it's overall length was 92, or hub face was 92, and center of the spring was 78. That's right, yeah. Hub face and spring center. So what I ran into, so I'm about 6 to 7 hours away from Kaufman to get an axle. So I was like, well, I'll try to find it locally to see what I can do. Now, I could get the exact axle that I have on my trailer. It's a Lippert 7K. It is those measurements I just went over. 9278. Now, I could get that, but it was 3 weeks out. I can't do 3 weeks of downtime. Yes, I have other trailers, but that trailer is my money maker. Plus, I have a trip coming up this weekend. It has to be done for. So I started to source an axle, and I found one for Kaufman's price, which is 7 hours away from me, is $468, and I don't know if it comes with springs and fully assembled. I don't know. I didn't even call because I needed it right away, and so call a local company and place I deal with all the time, and they got me a price of $600, fully dressed, which has your springs, bearings, grease, new brakes, everything, new lug nuts, everything. It's everything you need. You literally have to put 4 bolts in, splice in the wires for the brakes, and you're pretty much good to go. But the only problem was their measurements were off by 1 inch. And the 1 inch is here in the spring center. So the spring center on the Kaufman is 78 inches, and mine was 77. So I got it home, and I put them together. The picture loads just like this. And I don't know if you can see, they're lined up on the right side. They're 1 inch off on the left side. So what we do, I put it in underneath the trailer, put 2 bolts in on the right side, and put it up to see how close it is. And it is exactly 1 inch off. So at that point, I'm scrambling. I know what needs to be done, and I'll show you guys again. So I'm 1 inch off here. So they have, I'm going to call them a pedestal. They have pedestals welded onto the axle. They're centering. They center it up to where they need to be. The springs are already attached, but you get what I mean. They center the springs up. I'm an inch off. So technically I need to move a ½ inch out on each side to get that 78 instead of 77. So thankfully, family friend of ours is fixing it this morning. I took both my new and my old axle down last night, and he's going to cut the pedestals and move them out. He's done it before. He's got a big company. Says he's had to do it a bunch of times because of situations like this. So the main point of this story for you guys is you just need to overcome these these obstacles as quickly as possible, because downtime, I'm sitting here, I'm bored out of my mind. I'm sitting here drinking a cup of coffee. Dogs are running around, and I'm looking at the TV. I'm bored. So, hopefully this helps you guys in case anybody has a situation like this where they have a damaged axle and you can't get the correct one. I know a lot of you guys are over the road, and you might run into something like this where they can get you an axle that's close. It's the same overall length, but the spring centers aren't the same, and there's a way around it. You just need to cut them, move them out, and or move them into whatever you need to do. Get that thing back up in the trailer and get back out there making money. So I'm going to go out here. I'm going to do some maintenance on the trailer, guys. On the axle that's still there, I'm going to grease all the points, and I'm going to service the truck. I have a new set of headlights to put in. You guys are going to see that all in the next video. But I'm not dead. For the person who asked, I'm not dead. And I'm going to probably, fingers crossed, I'm going to be out back on the road tomorrow about making money. So I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe, and we'll see you next time.